Hello everyone. Alright, today I'm going to show you a 112 pan car from Schumacher, which I'm showing now because I'm gonna put it for sale, so I might not have it for much longer. And right now it's the latest version of it. I've been playing with this Gokart body, which is a body that I've made, and it looks so much fun on the track, this thing moving around. And so yeah, this is I don't have the body poster, so it's a little bit hanging out, but it's let's talk about the body quickly. It's a 3-piece body that I've designed to put on basically any 112 pan cars. It comes normally with the feet and everything, but you see these cars gets this bar going all the way across, and I guess I could have left the front of the feet and the pedal, but I did a bit of a messy job cutting it. And because I'm using a 2S LiPo as well, it's pretty high here, so I had to cut for the cables for the motor. But so that's the body. Is got one part is the main body with the body panel and the legs and torso of the driver, and then another part is the steering wheel with the arms, and then the 3D printed helmet. And I think it's a really cool little thing to see on the track. It's really seldom see any go-karts. From time to time see the old Kyosho, people playing the Kyosho. There is a cheapy go-kart on Tobo as well, which is basically a rip-off of an F103, which is pretty cool as well. So I just thought like this, you know, allows anybody who's got a 112 car to feed it on and then start like a go-kart class or something with their club. And so, enough with the body, let's talk about this chassis. It's a really cool little chassis, really interesting design. It's a full pan. The pod is actually very different from, attached very differently from the usual pan cars. It is basically mounted on a little pivot point here, and so it articulates left and right. There is an option to have dampers tubes on the side. I don't have them. On the version that I have, you place different size O-rings under the links to stiffen how much the car can sway to make it more. This is pretty stiff right now. It works pretty well. It's not bad at all. A single dampers tube at the top, and then you have dual springs at the rear here, and so the springs act for the sway as much as the up and down movement. And it's really interesting the way you can set up the stiffness with those nuts here, and the height of the center here, as well as the ride height with those screws here at the back. And the pod is well built. It's really stiff, so I think you could go pretty crazy on the power. It's really rigid, the whole motor mount and so on. They give you a space to put some weight here to balance the chassis at the back. And I'm using a ball diff. I know a lot of the GT come with a spool at the back. And in the front you have this as well, pretty interesting front end, which is basically a top and bottom. It's both a single piece for the left and right steering hub, and so it acts as a kind of a giant sway bar, graphite sway bar. And then you can change the ride height once again with those little screws here. You can change the angle with some O-rings, and you can change the springs and the stiffness of the spring. Stiffness of the spring with a nut at the top here, and then that's it. Yeah, you get the body mounts that are underneath here and the body mount at the back that are here. That's another pretty interesting way of locking and setting up the body mounts, and so they will be cut flush with the chassis plate or the pod plate here, the chassis plate in the front. And you have a little cut here for the servo saver. And so overall I think it's a really interesting design and very unique. Right now you see I'm using the body post here instead of the bumper, just because of the body I'm running, and usually normally I would have a longer body post here for the engine side of the Gokart body. But for the track I'm driving it on, which is mainly asphalt with a really rough surface, very grainy, not really friendly already for foams, but it's really bumpy. And this being the GT version, it gets same width tires at the rear and at the front, and the grip is extremely low on the track that I'm running. Of course, the Gokart body is not helping, but I have tried with two other bodies. The original body I bought with this car was the AGATA, and I love this body. It's really nice. It's a very trouble in the front here, so you need to fit like a very long foam. It comes with a foam extension with the body, which is pretty cool, but this offered me no grip whatsoever at the rear with the car. Once again, on the track I'm driving, I'm not saying this is a body that don't have good downforce or anything, but it didn't work. The one that did work is this one that I got later, and for which I've built, like I've designed some wing mount and 3D printed them at the back, designed a cool little exhaust as well. And this with a more aggressive wing, and I guess that the general body shape worked better. It worked well, so I guess there is a limitation, of course, to the GT class, that the grip is never going to be as good as with the regular pan car chassis. But yeah, that's mainly why I'm not going to keep this one. It's just I think it's really limited what you can do when you compare, you know, a regular 112 tire. It's like half the width, this car, so of course it's not gonna have that great of a grip. But on carpet it's doing great, and I guess that's what people are racing those on. And I think it's just got so many unique features that it's worth taking a look at. It can be fitted easily with the 2S battery pack, which is what I'm using. I'm using a 2S system, 13.5 turn brushless censored, 120 amp ESC, 112 size, R6 power HD steering servo, which is a good servo for this size. And then I got my few tab up. And yeah, I'm using contact tires in the front. I forgot the front, I think it's 40 shore, something like that, and 38 or 42 and 40. I'm not sure what I have on now. But yeah, I think it's a lovely little chassis. It's a really unique design. Works pretty well. It's just not great for what I'm using it for, and it looks pretty fun with that guy on. So the next thing I'm gonna do is repress one of those Gokart body and make a version for the new pan car that I'm designing at the moment, my little 112 project. And so that is going to be pretty cool, and there will be more space for his feet, so I won't have to chop him off that much. And so yeah, that's it for now. I hope everybody's safe, that you're not losing your mind being stuck at home, and keep on sharing your RCs, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.